Monsters.fm. That's Monsters.fm. You can see who stole my Twitter account and all kinds of great stuff up at Monsters.fm. Reminding you this Friday, it's Bob Saget at Hard Rock Live, and he's our special guest right now, which, you know, he's one of those guys that has always been just generous with his time. We tell the story all the time, Bob, where, you know, you came on one day and we're like, hey, you know, come back anytime you want. And then the next morning we're coming to work and you're standing at the door.
That's called a stalker. I was very lonely.
Hey, do you pay attention to when they release celebrity net worth? And the only reason I asked was because that's one of the news stories today. Betty White. Did you see what her celebrity net worth supposedly was?
None of it's true.
None
of it's ever true. None of it. And most of it is, you can figure it out. They figure it out by how much a person makes by counting how much they made a year. But if they're on a series, you can figure out their salary because those were made public a lot of times. And then you add it all up and you come to someone's gross income. And then no one realized half of that's supposed to go to taxes. And then 25% goes to agents and managers. And then you got to pay for your house and your car and your kids or whatever you've got going. So it's always a fraction of whatever. But money is money. And it's very fortunate when you can make money in my business. I mean, I'm a lucky dude, you know.
I've never seen anyone that has said it's accurate. Savannah, didn't they have you?
Oh, according to celebrity whatever, I make $6 million a year. But meanwhile, my computer is set up on USPS box priority mail, and my headphone only has one thing.
Well, you got $6 million and a bunch of junk.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wish I knew where the $6 million. Maybe I Uber eated it all. I don't know where.
No, you got a nice piano. You got tattoos aren't cheap.
That's a good point. A very good point.
Right. You gotta pay for them. I never had a tattoo. I was gonna have one. I can't really say this joke, but you have an idea where. And it would have been funny, but I can't say it. I used to put, well, I guess the punchline is your name here or Eat at Joe's.
Bob, what would be the thing that when you made substantial amount of money, what would be the indulgent thing that you bought for yourself with your first kind of real big paycheck?
Yeah.
Well, that would be a house. That would be the first house. And then the second house was a bigger house. And that was a nice house, but I wouldn't, that's not who I am today. I live very nicely and very lucky. And, but
anything silly though? Is there anything like frivolous? Like, okay, I want to buy this crazy baseball card or something like
hydroplane or something like that. You know?
Yeah, hydroplane, jetpack, and also I wanted to change the font on a lot of television shows. So
you were looking at Family Matters. You were like, Family Matters. That could be a nice light blue.
Right. Ryan, I don't want to go driving with you. You're not going to be looking at the road.
No, I'm that guy that reads the signs.
That's not a yellow light. That looks like amber and orange. I got to call the police.
I mean, I do want to talk to the creator of the Full House font because I've never seen that font anywhere else in life, and I think they did a great job. A lot goes into
I do too. The original Full House font maker might not be alive, so you might. I'll find out where they are interned, and you can go visit their site.
I would love that.
That's great. But yeah, I think a car. It was always cars. I always liked a really cool car, so I'd get one that you can't find. I even have a car now that's half hybrid, and half. Well, it's undecided on its identity, but it's hybrid and it's
gas curious. And it's gas curious.
It's questioning. But it's an amazing car, and I don't like a lot of cars. Like, it's funny. I was on Jay Leno's garage, so you go over and you see all those cars, and it's insane. He's got, and I don't know why you would show your collection because it's like somebody's gonna break in. It must be like the Bat Cave of security. But what do you guys buy that's frivolous? Russ, I know it's not a Twitter account.
No. I mean, if I had Bob Saget money, I would buy the Batmobile. That's exactly what I would do if I had Bob Saget money. But
I would get a driver.
I would get if I had frivolous money, I would get a driver, and his name would be Tony, and he would know all my dirty secrets, and he'd be like, "Hey, I got to get you." Even though I don't go anywhere, I just literally I'm at my house all the time. But he'd be sitting out back. I'd be like, "Tony, we got to go to Wendy's." He'd be like, "Let's go, boss." I just want him to go. Let's go, boss. You know.
You want to order somebody around, and you think you're in The Sopranos. That's what
exactly.
That sounds like.
I'm watching The Sopranos right now. You're right, son. That's how I'm feeling.
That's what you want. I don't like these days. I don't like drivers that much because they can't talk candidly on the phone. I used to like drivers more because if I'm tired and I have a distance to go, but otherwise I'll sometimes rent some pimped out vehicle with like black rims and stuff, and you know, I even had one that had like hydraulic lifts on it, just rolling into the back of the theater.
Bob Saget rolling on his '64 Impala with
I think that's Snoop Dogg. No, that's Bob Saget.
Bob Saget, man.
He's a real G.
So funny.
He's a real G.
I pulled up to a theater owner that I had played the theater before, and he went, "Of course, that's you."
Hey, Bob, you don't have to tell us the neighborhood, but the neighborhood where you lived, are your neighbors famous, or do your neighbors go, "Damn, I live next to Bob Saget"?
Well, nobody would say that anyway. Well, they might somewhere, but I have people around me that you guys would know. But a lot of I live in the hills, so it's not, you know, you could take walks, but it's not really neighborhood centric.
I mean,
you know?
obviously.
Can you tell us who you live near? Anyone that you can tell?
I'll cover this one, Russ. John Stamos lives in the room across the hall from him, and Dave, and then Dave lives in the basement.
John is actually in my bed right now, waiting for me to come back up. He'll go like, "How did it go, Bob? Was it good?" Why won't Russ's Twitter work? I don't get it. How could he lose all those people?
It sucks.
That's how John whines. I don't want to say my neighbors because I don't make them feel bad. But when I first moved in, my next door neighbor, they have a great house, and I want to buy it so I can enlarge my property. But they won't sell because they were given it by their grandfather, who was a special effects expert in the movies in the 40s.
Dang.
So he worked on like Kirk Douglas movies. So I knew him before he passed, and he would tell me how he just blew stuff up all the time. He literally, but normally you get bored by some people's stories. Sometimes an elderly person, with all due respect, will ramble. But this guy was like, and then we put dynamite in it. We blew it up, and we nearly killed an actor. I'm like, who's the actor? Well, and then he would tell me names. It was
back in the day, Charlie Chaplin, to put a scar on their face, it was made of asbestos. We did anything back then.
It was Lon Chaney, because Chaplin, you couldn't mess that face up. Chaplin was making $1 million a movie, silent movies. He was making $1 million a movie.
In that time, that's crazy.
1911.
Hey, did you think about buying the full? I know the Full House went up for sale and sold. Did you briefly think about buying it because what the hell, or is that not something you were interested in?
No, that would be insane. I think that would be like caring about font.
Bob, another quick thing real fast. The Full House didn't have neighbors across the street, but in the show, if you looked out the door, there was the Kimmy Gibbler lived across the street, but the establishing shot of the show.
Stop it.
What? What are you doing?
I'll explain everything. He can't control himself. He was never medicated as a kid. What happened was the exec producer, Jeff Franklin, bought the house. And we actually went there. And in the backyard, the whole cast put our hands in cement. Because there was a guy that was going to bury us. No, there was.
Give me the money, Bob. Give me the money, Bob.
Right, and then it's the money of the. You got the money. I got the stuff, and we did that, and the house did not look the same. And it's like a 2,500 square foot house, but if you walked onto the set, it's 7,000 square feet. So it's basically like Alice in Wonderland. You walk in the door, and it's like some mushroom of a weird space station. And there were neighbors right across the street, but the similar type of brownstone type, those Victorian painted ladies. We're not the painted ladies house. That's what people don't know either. They're called painted ladies. They're not the painted ladies that Orlando has when I say to you at 2 a.m, take me somewhere because I'm thinking again.
I'll see you around, Bob.
All right, Bob Saget is going to be at Hard Rock Live on Friday. You do realize you're welcome to call us every day this week. I mean, it's open if you want to do it.
Yeah, promote.
I'll see you tomorrow. I love you guys.
Bob Saget.
I've always loved you. It's been decades, for God's sake.
I know. It's been amazing. We appreciate all the time you give us. We do appreciate it. And people love you, by the way. As I'm looking at the texting service, it's like everybody loves Bob Saget. I'm telling you, you're the male Betty White, but much younger,
We're built exactly the same, by the way.
Thank you, Bob.
With all due respect, God bless Betty White. So
yes, for sure. She's wonderful. All right, thank you so much, Bob. We appreciate it.
Bob. I want to see you Friday, and I might be calling you tomorrow. Could be hilarious.
Anytime. All right.
Can you keep Ryan? Can we have you face Ryan tomorrow?
We'll talk to you about that later, Bob.
Yeah.
we don't know about that one. We like you and all, but maybe not. All right, we got to take a little break. When we come back, Stephen Kramer will be with us. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Monsters of the Morning. Thank you.